So it's now been confirmed that Jake Paul is in fact fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, of course, Gervonta Davis is a lightweight. He's a lightweight world champion and is currently the WBA lightweight world champion. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what I think the WBA should do about this. Of course, I think it's going to result in them stripping Gervonta Davis of the world championship, as they should, because no lightweight world champion should be taking a exhibition fight against a cruiserweight, right? So if you're doing that, you're clearly not serious about defending the WBA lightweight title anymore. So you strip him. And then we sort of look at who could fight for the vacant WBA world title. In my opinion, there are some options. In my opinion, I think immediately the sort of names that are going to be thrown out there will be your Floyd Schofield and your Andy Cruz's, which logically do make sense because Andy Cruz is at a point where he's so advanced. His next fight very well could be for a world championship, and that's very well deserved in my opinion. Honestly, the same could be said for Floyd Schofield. Of course, Floyd Schofield is the number 1 ranked contender at WBA, following a huge first round knockout of Tevin Farmer, which, if you know Tevin Farmer, if you know boxing, that does not happen. Tevin Farmer does not just get starched in 1 round. Right, he's a very tricky fighter, a very slick veteran who's proved by many top level fighters very difficult to hit, but you can find Tevin Farmer and he is beatable. That being said, that is a huge win for Floyd Schofield, and rightfully so, he's number 1 contender at WBA. But it doesn't sit right with me having Lamont Roach, who just had a draw with Gervonta Davis. It doesn't sit right with me him not getting the next title shot at WBA. It just doesn't. I would love to see a Lamont Roach v Floyd Schofield fight for the vacant WBA World Championship, and you've got Andy Cruz, and let's be honest, Andy Cruz is just so much advanced and so far advanced and so ahead of all of his peers at lightweight. You almost don't even need to rush him to get to a world title fight because he's going to get there anyway. There's no doubt about it. Whereas Floyd Schofield is clearly very athletic, clearly a big puncher. But is he a boxer on the level of Andy Cruz? Is he a boxer on the level of a Lamont Roach? Lamont Roach boxed very well against Gervonta Davis and was really a coming out party to a lot of people who didn't know about him. Alright? So Lamont Roach, even though he's from the lower weight division, he's from 126. 130, sorry. He's from 130 and put on a great performance coming up to 135 against Gervonta Davis. So I want to see Lamont Roach get that title shot for the WBA. I would love to see Lamont Roach v Floyd Schofield. I know what they probably will try and push for is Lamont Roach, will be Floyd Schofield v Andy Cruz, which is probably what they'll push for, which I'm not mad at. I think will be a very competitive fight because both guys offer different styles. But the same could be said for Lamont Roach. I think Lamont Roach v Andy Cruz would be an absolute chess match. I think to the typical boxer, the casual boxing fan, that's not a barn burner of a fight, where Floyd Schofield definitely promises to bring more action, especially coming off the win against Tevin Farmer in such emphatic fashion, right? So the lightweight division is an interesting situation because, in my opinion, the top guys of the division is Shakur and Andy Cruz. That is 1A and 1B, in my opinion, at lightweight. Gervonta Davis, despite him being a world champion and despite him being undefeated with so many knockouts, in terms of boxing ability, he is far, 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 far behind Shakur Stevenson and Andy Cruz. Now, Gervonta Davis has 1-punch knockout power. One thing that both of those guys do not have. He's got an incredible punch for that sort of weight class, but like I said, in terms of boxing ability, he's not on their level. But yeah, hopefully this happens soon. Hopefully WBA pull their finger out and pretty much as soon as this fight against Jake Paul got announced, he should be stripped. Because you're not serious about defending the world championship if you're fighting a cruiserweight in an exhibition fight. You know? But I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Do you think the WBA will strip Gervonta Davis? If they do strip him, who do you think will fight for that vacant title? Do you think it'll be Floyd Schofield and Andy Cruz? Or in my opinion, I think it'll be Floyd Schofield and Lamont Roach. But yeah, curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag. And I'm out. Peace.